Right. All right. All right. What's going on, family? How are you? I hope you're well. Can you see me and hear me? Folks are coming on in. Good, good, good. What's going on? What's going on? Day one of the Purpose to Pay challenge, the 4-day challenge. So happy to have you. Let me get this technology right. All right. All right. Cool, cool, cool. What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh my goodness, the room is filling up. We have an amazing 4 days ahead of us. We just got out of our VIP session. For those of you who did the VIP, that was absolutely amazing. We went over the skills, values, matrix, and that was really, really powerful. So we're going to get started in just a second. We're going to get started in just a second. Um, take some deep breaths. You know, um, God breathed life into us, and the easiest way to connect with the Creator is to just simply go back to your breath. And in order to do this work, we have to go to the Creator. We have to go to the Creator because it created us for a reason and for a purpose. And so I know you've been busy today, running around. Some of you have 9 to 5. Some of you are entrepreneurs looking for your new direction. And know that you're not going to find your purpose through me. I'm a vehicle. I'm a vessel. I'm an instrument. But your purpose is going to come. It's already inside of you, and we have to go dig it out. Right? We have to go get it out. God placed it there, and you're going to need to connect with your Creator to do this work. This is not just head work. Okay, this is heart work. This is not just head work. This is heart work. All right. So take a moment while people are coming on in, and then we're going to get started. For those of you who are on social media, go to juliangordon.com/P2P to join us. That's juliangordon.com/P2P to join us on Zoom. I'm going to turn off Instagram in about 10 minutes. Okay. I'm going to turn off Instagram in about 10 minutes. I just wanted to get you in here on the first day. It is absolutely free, and we're going to one find your passion, find the problem that you're meant to solve, find the people that you're meant to serve, and find the profit so that you can do this work sustainably. All right, cool, 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 cool. All right, beautiful. Let's get started. We have an hour ahead of us, and so let's get started. Um, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Julian Gordon, aka Mr. Multifamily. That's how many of you know me. But my purpose actually started with work around purpose. Literally on November 22nd of 2008, I did my first workshop in my living room in Brooklyn, New York. And my living room did not look like this at that time. I had this small little living room in Brooklyn, New York. I had 8 people come to my living room that day for a full day experience called Driving School for Life, where I was helping them get clarity on their life purpose. I'd written my first book, The 8 Cylinders of Success, on how to align your personal and professional purpose. And before I published it, I wanted to test the methodology out to make sure that it worked for other people besides me. That workshop was so powerful that I went on to teach that program to hundreds of people in several cities, and that ended up going to thousands of people, doing it within corporations, teaching it at colleges. And here's the thing: as I was helping people get clarity on their purpose, what happened was the reason they weren't stepping into it because they couldn't figure out the money part. So that's actually what pivoted me to financial literacy, right? And what I now call financial spirituality, because it was the money that was blocking them. Even though they were aware of their purpose and knew what it was, they couldn't figure out the money part. So this is what got me into multifamily real estate. This is what got me into teaching people how to understand money from an energetic level, right? This is why I wrote Rich and Righteous. So now God is bringing me back full circle, back to my point of origin, which was purpose work. And before I was Mr. Multifamily, I was known as the Purpose Finder. Before I was Mr. Multifamily, I was known as the Purpose Finder. And so I'm so excited to have you here and go on this journey with you. We are going to be here every single day, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And by the end of this, you should have crystal clarity on what your purpose is and the pathway you need to get paid for it. So with that, I want to open up in prayer really quickly. Dear God, we love you and thank you for bringing us here together. to get in alignment with your will for our lives. We know that when we are doing your will, we are in your will. We know that our food is to do the will of the one who sent us, and you're the one who sent us here to this earthly realm to do what we were called to do. Each one of us is meant to take up our cross and walk, and we are excited to identify what that is and have the courage to actually do it. We know that our greatest faith walk is not our religion. Our greatest faith walk is whether or not we do what you created us to do. And so we are here diligently listening to our hearts, listening to you speak to us and through us so that we can get clear on why we are here and start to move our lives in that direction. We thank you for this space and time. I thank you for using me to support all of these people on their journey. We look forward to the results, the insights, the divine downloads, the breakthroughs that occur during these next 4 days. And we are just so grateful to be here. We love you and thank you with all of our hearts, minds, and souls. Ashe, amen. And so it is. All right, all right, all right. So my volume is low. My volume is low. Uh is my volume good or bad, y'all? Is my volume good or bad? People are saying I hear fine. We were just on the VIP call. Kia, my teammate, is telling me everything is fine. So we might have to log out and log back in. All right, cool. So what I want to do is I want to share my screen and I actually want to take you on a journey really quickly. I want to take you on a journey so that you understand how I got here and how I discovered my purpose. So let me do this. I'm sharing my screen right now. So it is day one, and day one, we are looking to find our passion. All right. So for those of you who don't know, my purpose in short is to make the righteous rich. My purpose is to make the righteous rich. And I believe that all of you who are here today are righteous and you're seeking to be better and better, and you're seeking to make this world better and better. And when you're walking your purpose is an act of service. So you are naturally serving and helping bring the kingdom here, kingdom of heaven here on earth. It says on earth as it is in heaven. That is our command and that is our call. My mission is create the world's wealthiest family by helping 100,000 people achieve $1 million in net worth by 2050 through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. But that's not just any entrepreneurship. That's entrepreneurship that is in alignment with your purpose. And now everybody walking in their purpose does not have to be an entrepreneur, right? You can do that within a profession, and there are professions out there that will allow you to walk in your God-given purpose. Each individual that works in the multifamily movement, I pray, is actually in their God-given purpose as an employee. So this does not require all of you to be entrepreneurs, okay? So I want to take you on a story, on a journey, excuse me, because I know many of you know me as Mr. Multifamily. You know me for real estate because that's where my purpose led me. And you've seen me build a significant real estate portfolio for myself with over 40 apartments, worth over $5.2 million, and I did that in about a 10-year span. But again, this is all because I was walking in alignment with my purpose. A lot of people think that purpose means a life of poverty, and I'm here to show you that that's not the case, that you can be rich and righteous. Now, before I became Mr. Multifamily, the real origin in the beginning was actually this email that I sent out. I was working as a marketing director at a nonprofit in New York City at the time. And November 10th, 2008, while I was at the job, yeah, I hope they don't see this. While I was at the job, I sent out this email. And this email was an invite for 8 people to come to my living room for a full day experience called Driving School for Life, where I was going to help them get clarity on their life purpose, right? Now, this email you can see is dated November 10th, 2008. The workshop was November 22nd, 2008. And so I sent out the email and immediately I got 8 RSVPs. And so the session was closed, right? Nobody else could sign up, right? 8 people had already committed. Now, here's the catch, y'all. And this is what some of you are going to have to do as we get close to the end of this challenge. You're going to have to do what I'm about to share with you that I did when you were truly committed and serious about walking in your God-given purpose. Here's what happened. When I sent out the email, family, I had nothing planned for November 22nd. I'm going to repeat that. I sent out the email, had 8 RSVPs that day, and I had absolutely nothing planned for November 22nd. This is what I call a first domino. I knocked down the first domino, right? And it forced me to create the actual workshop within that 12-day period and show up. What is the easiest thing that you can do right now that's going to make you do the harder thing that you've been avoiding doing? Because if not, I would have kept procrastinating and procrastinating and procrastinating. And you want to know what happens when you procrastinate on your purpose? You experience more and more pain because you were out of alignment with God's will for your life. If you ever driven a car and the tire was out of alignment, that car starts to have more friction, right? It starts to not steer right. It starts to not drive right. And then other complications occur because that wheel is out of alignment. Well, some of us right now, the way we're moving is we are out of alignment with God's will for our life, and we're wondering why we're experiencing so much pain and so much difficulty, so much lack and so much scarcity is because you're not in alignment with why God created you. And so in order to get out of my own way, I sent out that email in advance, got 8 RSVPs, and over the next 12 days, I had to create the curriculum for that experience. Is this making sense? It's called the first domino. Okay. What is the easiest thing that I can do right now that's going to trigger me to do the bigger, scarier, more difficult thing that I've been avoiding doing this entire time? And for some of you, if you continue to ignore God, what's going to happen is instead of you stepping out intentionally on your own, God's going to fire you from that job because of disobedience, literally because of disobedience. You were doing good at that job, and all of a sudden you get sideswiped because you weren't supposed to be there. You knew you were supposed to be gone 3 years ago. Oh, well, let me save up $100,000. Oh, now let me save up $200,000. Oh, now let me save up $500,000. You keep kicking the can down the road, and the reality is you can know how much is in your bank account, but nobody knows how much is in their time account. You can know how much is in your bank account, but nobody knows how much is in their time account. So you think you have all this time, or I'm going to do this when I retire. I'm going to try to retire early. Then I'm going to start walking my purpose. It doesn't work like that. When God calls you, after you've got trained by your employers and you develop certain skills in these different functions that you've been in, there comes a time when you know it is time to go. All right. So here's who came to my living room that week. I just love that weekend. I just love the fact that I was able to capture these moments. These are the 8 people that came to my living room that day. It was such a special moment. It was so powerful. And the work that I'm going to be doing with you, and I'm going to be doing parts of the work. I was with them for a full day. With all of you, I'll be with you for 4 hours. And then when you add in the VIP sessions, I'll be with those people for about 8 hours. But this is the work that we're doing. We're going back to that curriculum. Okay. So this is me at my nonprofit job. This was the holiday party just before I quit. Because after that powerful workshop on November 22nd, I knew what I was created to do. I had confirmation. And so I put in my 30-day notice and I quit my job January 9th, 2009. Now, I don't know if any of you remember January 9th, 2009, but this was actually the bottom of the last recession. I quit my job at the bottom of the last recession. Right? People are saying, Julian, you should wait. Things are getting bad. All these companies are laying off thousands of employees. I don't think you should do this right now. You should just stay and just get this check and wait. And I came to the realization that you can't wait for all the green lights to be synchronized. Sometimes you're going to have to run some red lights. Sometimes you're going to have to run some red lights. And when you are pulled by purpose, right? When it's not a forced thing, you have a power at your back that transcends and goes beyond what man can do. Okay. Some of you would try to row across the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean with your arms, and that's only going to get you so far, right? That's called manpower. When you are trying to manifest, you actually want to have a power at your back that is greater than your physical strength. And when you are in alignment with God, you have a battery in your back that is greater than your body. You have a spirit at your back. You have wind behind your sails. Now, here's the thing about having wind behind your sails. Wind is more powerful than your physical body and you trying to row somewhere, right? But the thing is, you don't control wind. You don't control what God has for you. I'm going to share with you my journey, and it is zigged and it is zagged and it's gone this way and it's gone that way. But what I know for a fact is that as long as I stay in alignment with God, with every zig and zag that God has told me to do, things have always gotten bigger and they've always gotten better. They've always gotten bigger and they've always gotten better. And so this is really my call for you. And I hope that I can be a living demonstration and a testimony that this is a universal truth when you choose to walk in your God-given purpose. So from there, I went on to publish the 8-Cylinder Success book and my other book, Good Excuse Goals, right? Then I started doing that workshop all over the country in small groups. And then that led to me developing a speaking business. I had 4 TED Talks in a short amount of time, did not apply for one of them. People asked me to come to their stage and speak at their TED conferences. I did not apply for any of them, right? Went on to create other products, from books to digital products, etc. Then I had a college speaking tour to 66 colleges all across the country. I did a blog post on 66 things to do before you graduate. The National Society of Collegiate Scholars saw it. They said they wanted it. They called me and said, "Do you have a presentation for this?" I was like, now I do. So I made up a presentation, went down to their office. They said, "We'd like to send you on a 66 campus college tour." That led to me building out a college speaking business. Then that college speaking turned into corporate speaking, right? And then I said, I want to own my own stage. And then that led to me producing my own events on a larger scale. So much so that our last Generational Wealth Conference, this was the attendance at that. And one day I do intend to fill up Madison Square Garden. Okay. And then as I was on this journey, I was buying more and more real estate. And as I was sharing that story on social media, more people were DMing me and asking me about how I was buying real estate more than any other thing that I was doing. And so I knew that that was something that I needed to teach the people, because buying my first triplex, this one up here in Brooklyn, New York in May of 2013, it relieved me of my housing expense, which then freed me to spend more time figuring out what my purpose is and stepping into it. It gave me breathing room by getting rid of the biggest expense in my life. And I said, if I could help enough people get rid of their biggest expense, which is their housing expense, then that will free them up more financially to actually walk in their God-given purpose. So this is how my journey has come to unfold. This is how I became Mr. Multifamily. From there, I went on to create digital programs, right? As my daughter was coming, I knew that I didn't want to be on the road as much. So I wanted to teach from home and teach more people, right? And so I started creating online programs like the Career Change Challenge and some of the other ones that you see here. Then I helped my first person close on their first multifamily home. My brother, Chris Cosby Roll, and his wife, Nefra, and his daughter, Jubilee, helped them close on a multifamily in Los Angeles near USC. And they went through the NACA program. And once I realized that I had a methodology that could work for other people, then that ended up becoming the multifamily master plan. And the multifamily master plan has impacted so many lives. Initially, we set out to free 300 people through multifamily real estate. This was us celebrating our 300th closing at a gala in New Orleans, July of 2022. But we've actually crushed that goal, and the number of closers is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And to date, actually, we have over 900 closings. We have 903 closings to date. 903 closings to date. Let me update that. Right. And we've helped 903 families acquire over $350 million worth of real estate. Just little old me walking in my God-given purpose. Okay. Same thing, Harriet Tubman. You can't see my art piece of Harriet Tubman, but Harriet Tubman, she freed herself on the Underground Railroad. She went back and she freed 300 people. That's why we set out to help 300 people at first, right? We call multifamily real estate the above ground railroad. She freed people on the Underground Railroad. But now we've blown past that, and now we are working our way towards 1,000 closings. Again, just me walking in my God-given purpose. This is what unfolds. This is what happens when you stay in alignment with what you were created to do. You see all the zigging and zagging and things of that nature. My college business, speaking business, was building so much momentum, and then God said, go this way. I said, okay, trust you. I surrender. When we talk about submission online in terms of dating, are you submitted to God? Are you submitted to God's will for your life? Some of you are so resistant and obedient to what the Father has in store for you. and there's friction and there's tension, and you're wondering why you're not fulfilled despite how big your paychecks are, the reason you're not fulfilled is because the only thing that will fulfill you is actually doing what you were created and called to do. There's nothing that will fulfill you more than that. But you won't surrender. You won't submit. You think you know it all. And so some of you are going to have to climb that corporate ladder. Some of you are going to have to reach the C-suite, and you're going to have to fall down from there to be humbled because you knew that that is not what you were called or created to do. And in fact, some of you are climbing up ladders that will never reach your full potential. You think that you getting that title and that job that's at the highest point of the organization is your full potential. No, your full potential is in the heavens. There's no corporate ladder that can reach your full potential. Okay. So my journey has been circuitous. It's been a zig and a zag, from workshops in my living room to publishing books to college speaking to corporate speaking to multifamily real estate to online programs. And now God is calling me to create a spiritual community for the unchurched, for the spiritual folks, and for the Christians who want to be Christ-like. What do? I say yes. Okay. Okay. I'm willing to leave it all behind. Whatever I was doing yesterday, I'm willing to leave it all behind, because if this is what God has for me, what do you have for me to do today? But some of us are so tied to the past and the momentum that we aren't willing to know that success is staying in alignment with God. Success is staying in alignment with God. So if we trace back all the negativity and all the unhappiness and lack of joy, the depression that is in your life, guess where it's coming from? It's likely coming from not being in alignment with God. The more you are out of alignment and the longer you are out of alignment, the more pain and negative manifestations you're going to experience. Okay. So I gave you the short version of my purpose as to make the righteous rich, but I actually want to give you my purpose statement now. And by the end of this 4 days, you are going to have your purpose statement just like this. We're actually going to use this template. I'm going to give you this template, and we're going to walk through it day by day by day. All right. So my purpose statement is: my name is Julian Gordon, and I'm a spiritual and financial liberator. My life work makes it possible for righteous, good, and God-hearted people to address their scarcity mindset and receive the abundance that is their birthright, and experience what it means to have life and have it more abundantly. I have a Reverend Ike-like passion for helping people bring heaven on earth, using the God within themselves to manifest the divine ideas planted in their mind. And I envision a world where everyone is in their God-given purpose for the greatest good. This is my purpose, family. And so this is why I'm here. This has come full circle back to that living room, November 22nd, 2008. And here we are in 2024. I'm back to the original work, is helping as many people as possible walk in their God-given purpose. And so I'm in extreme gratitude to you all for being here, because not only do I get to serve you, but you also give me the opportunity to serve. And there's no greater reward, there's no greater feeling than using the gift that you were giving in service to others. Okay. So for those of you who are in VIP, I know we met at 7. You have your paid for purpose workbook. That is a 20+ page workbook. And you can go into your curriculum and download that. For those of you who bypass VIP in that invitation, I'm allowing you, I'm giving you another chance to still take advantage of the VIP option. Okay. Kia just posted that link in chat. I'm giving you another opportunity to take advantage of the VIP option. The VIP option includes the replays of our daily calls. Okay. The replays of our 8 p.m. calls. It includes an additional hour of coaching, where we just had an amazing session at 7 o'clock. You're also going to get access to the Paid for Purpose program for 1 year, and you will get the full purpose to paid workbook. Okay. You'll get the full workbook. Okay. So that link is in chat. If you know you want to go deeper than just the general sessions, then I encourage you to take advantage of that. If you know you're going to miss any days because you had other commitments already, then I encourage you to go grab this ASAP. so that you can still catch up and not miss anything. Every day builds on the other. And so if you know you're going to miss any days, then I encourage you to go take advantage of that. Again, that's purposetopay.com/VIP. It will be $197 after, okay? But you can go grab it for $97 today, okay? All right. So again, that's going to include the Paid for Purpose program, where we go deeper than what we're going to be able to cover over the next 4 days. Honestly, I need a whole weekend with you all. I need 2 8-hour days with you all. But given that we are virtual, and things of that nature, we're going to do what we can in the 4 hours that we have. Okay. So back to my purpose. My purpose is actually rooted in problems that I'm committed to solving. Problems, you're going to hear me say this, problems that I'm passionate about solving. Okay. So the problems that I am focused on are Black spirituality, Black wealth, and the Black family. So I call that faith, finances, and family. And you can see all of the creations, everything that I've done up to date, how they fit into this Venn diagram. Okay. So we got Meat Not Milk Metaphysical Bible Study. We got Rich and Righteous, the book. We got Paid for Purpose, and the Purpose to Pay Challenge. We have the Multifamily Movement. We have the Wealth Riser app. We have Generational Wealth Con. We have the Spiritual Experience, and we have the Sons of Solomon Men's Bible Study. So all of these things fit within the context of my purpose. So my purpose actually gives like my GPS, and it guides me to and helps me to determine what I create and why I create it. They are all rooted in solving these major problems. Okay. So, so I used to think, right, early on in the game, I used to think that purpose meant a life of poverty. And the reason I used to think that, and y'all let me know if you felt the same way, I used to think that because when I looked at some of the world's most impactful people, it didn't look like they had wealth. When I look at Yeshua or Jesus, right, didn't perceive him as wealthy. When I look at Mother Teresa, didn't perceive her as materially wealthy. When I look at Gandhi, didn't perceive him as materially wealthy. Now we know for a fact they were spiritually wealthy, all of them, okay? But there didn't seem to be material wealth there, right? But then when I look at scripture, in John 10:10, and I saw somebody post that just a second ago, scripture says, I'm come that they might have life and have it more scarcely. Is that what it says? Is that what the scripture says? I'm come that they might have life and have it more scarcely? No. It says, I'm come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. Everybody type abundantly. Everybody type abundantly. 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 We are meant to have abundance. This is why I know it is possible to be rich and righteous. Yes, it is hard to be rich and righteous. It's a very fine line to walk, but I know that that possibility exists for all of us. And so I now know that purpose actually leads to a life of prosperity. But as I said in the VIP call, what are the first 3 letters of prosperity, y'all? What are the first 3 letters of prosperity? Uh-oh. I want you to say that word to yourself. Pro. You have to become a pro at something. You have to master something. Some of you have not committed to mastering anything. So this is why you are getting average results in your life, because you haven't pursued mastery. Yeah, you got a graduate degree, but you haven't pursued mastery. You got a master's degree and you haven't mastered anything. Oops. If I stopped you on stage at graduation and said, please teach on what you've been studying for the past 2 to 4 years, most of you couldn't give an hour-long speech because you were just passing tests. You were just doing what was necessary to get a piece of paper, but you didn't master anything. Okay? And so in order to have prosperity, becoming a pro is essential. So the goal of this challenge is how to get rich. Yep. How to get rich. Okay? But it's not how to get rich in 10 days for $10 so that you can buy Gucci, a G-Wagon, or a mansion. This is not what this is about, okay? This is how to get rich so that you can walk in your God-given purpose without ever worrying about money. How many of you want that? Type me if you want that. How to get rich so that you can walk in your God-given purpose without ever worrying about money. If for many of you, if I gave you your salary today, the same salary, but you got a chance to walk in your purpose, you would quit today. Y'all would quit today. If I could guarantee you your same exact salary, but on this path, you get to walk in your purpose, you would quit today. You would switch over today. So we got to solve this money part. Okay. We got to solve this money part. All right. Now, how do we do that? We must find your most high offer. Your most high. You know, we call God the most high. What is your most high offer? It is what is the most high offer that I can make, that I can give to the world for the most high price that honors the most high. The most high thing that I can give to the world at the most high price that honors the most high. That is your most high offer. Okay? This is what we're looking to do in our work here. All right? For those of you on social media, you can join us at juliangordon.com/P2P. That will get you access to the Zoom room. And I'm only going to stay on social media today. The rest of the challenge will take place privately in Zoom. So for those of you on social media, go to juliangordon.com/P2P to join us there. Okay. Right. But the reality is many of you are actually slaving for the green piece of paper. We got to ask ourselves, how did this green piece of paper get so much power over us? Did you know that the US dollar is 75% cotton? Did you know that the US dollar is 75% cotton? So some of y'all are still picking cotton on a daily basis and didn't even know it. You thought slavery was over because there's no shackles and chains anymore? No, it's called modern day slavery. It is mental and it is monetary. You're still picking cotton, it's just flat and green now. And then you give it to your employer, and then they give you a fraction of that. Okay? Scripture says in Matthew 6:24, no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. You cannot serve both God and money. But some of you have made money your God, and when you flip over the dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust." The reason you read it like that is because you've made money your God. You don't trust God because you're not doing God's will. You're not doing what you were created to do. You're scared. You have fear instead of faith. If you love me, you will follow my commandments. You will do my will. So we pay lip service to actually doing what we were called and created to do. Now, I used to think that walking my purpose meant ministry, and my path has led me to ministry. That is the next evolution that I'm stepping into. But everybody can't be a minister of a church or a spiritual community, right? Everybody's not meant to be. Your purpose is your ministry. If you're in the education sector, then what is it like to bring not just a gold standard, but a God standard to education? That doesn't mean prayer in the classroom. It doesn't mean a cross in the classroom. It means that when your students see you, do they see God? Not looking to you as a God, but do they see the God in you? Do they see your light? If you're in the hospitality industry, how do you bring a God standard to the hospitality industry? If you're in the financial services industry, how do you bring a God standard to the financial services industry? How would you treat the customers? How would you invest their money if you bring a God standard to that industry? So you are likely where you're supposed to be, but you just need to start seeing it as your ministry, because that is where you were supposed to serve. If we're going to bring the kingdom of heaven on earth, then we need to be in all these different industries. For those of you in entertainment, how do you bring a God standard to the entertainment industry, which is one of the most devilish industries that exist? Are you just going to create the same content that's already being created and only adding to that matrix? Or are you going to do something different and show that we can use the same creative energy up here to create good, godly content, right? As opposed to appealing to people's base and lower self. This is the challenge that we have, okay? So You are the God standard. How do you bring a God standard to the education industry, food industry, hospitality industry, healthcare industry, financial service industry? That is the question that you must answer. One of the books that helped me get clarity on my purpose was The Purpose-Driven Life about 20 years ago. And Rick Warren said, without God, life has no purpose. And without purpose, life has no meaning. Without meaning, life has no significance or hope. This is why this work is so important. And so there's four types of people that are here. Four types of people that are here, right? And I want you to type the number that you are. Listen to them all first, and then I want you to type the number that you are. The first type of person is the person who knows their purpose, but it is not walking in it. Okay? That's the first type of person that's here. The second type of person is a person that is actively seeking. They don't know it, but they're actively seeking. And I think many of you fit in that category. The third type of person is the person that is in their purpose, but not being paid abundantly for it. And then the person that is not here at all is those who don't want to know their purpose. They just want to play ignorant as if they don't know. So in chat, please let me know which one are you? Are you 1, 2, or 3? I just want to get a feel. For those of you on social media, please join us at juliangordon.com/P2P to join the Zoom room where you can see the actual PowerPoint. The paid Purpose to Pay challenge, 4-day challenge is absolutely free. And you can join us there right now. All right. So it looks like we have a lot of, okay. We have mostly 2s, then 3s, then 1s. Okay. So 2s are the biggest group. 3s are those who are in it but not being paid abundantly for it, and then after that is those who know it but are just not walking in it. Okay, that's good news. That's good news. All right, beautiful. All right, so listen to me. What is the purpose of a cup, family? What is the purpose of a cup? A cup can be used to hold liquids. It can be used as a marketing tool. It can be used to trap insects, or it may be holding pens on your desk in your cubicle, right? So a cup can be used for many things. But how do we know the true purpose of a cup, family? How do we know the true purpose of the cup? How can we know? How we use it, perspective, use it, however it's being used. Bridget said it, family. You got to ask the creator of the cup. Why did you create this thing? Here's why that's important. Many of you can be used for many different things. But the reason many of you aren't being paid abundantly is because you aren't being used according to your highest use. You aren't being used according to the original purpose for your life. You were talented. And when you're talented, what happens is these organizations, they see you as a ball of clay and they think they can mold you into whatever they need you to do for their purposes. Okay? Yes, a cup can hold pens. That's not the highest use of a cup. If cups only marketed, would you rather have a business that owns cups as pen holders, a business that positions cups as insect trappers, a business that position cups as marketing tools, or a business that positions cups as holding liquids? Which one is going to be the bigger business? It's the same exact cup, but when you are positioned according to the original purpose that you were made, that's when you get your highest value. So some of you are not experiencing abundance in your life because you are being useful, but you're not at your highest use. You're not making your highest contribution. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? So in many cases, it's not that you have to change, but it's that how you are being used has to change. But some of you think that 6 figures is the end all be all when you're actually leaving $900,000 on the table and could be a millionaire. You're leaving $900,000 on the table and could be a millionaire because you're grabbing on and holding on to 100,000. Okay? So I want to give you the top secret to finding your God-given purpose. Y'all want to hear it? I need to know. Y'all want to know what the top secret is? Y'all want to know what the top secret is? If not, I'll skip it. Okay? You're going to think this is crazy. You ready? Here's the secret to finding your purpose. The secret to finding your purpose is to say yes in advance of knowing it. Earlier, I used the words submission and surrender. The secret to finding your purpose is to say yes in advance of knowing it. That is full submission to the Creator. You have to trust your Creator so much that you are willing to say yes to it before you even know. And here's why. The Creator does not negotiate with the creation. The Creator does not negotiate with the creation. Some of you want to hear your purpose, and then you want to be like, no, God, I don't want that one. I want the one that he has over there. No, I want the one that she has over there because I like the way her social media looks. You want to negotiate with the Creator instead of just saying yes in advance. And so because you have not fully submitted, the Creator is not going to let you know because it knows that you are going to have resistance. It knows that you're going to resist because you haven't fully submitted to its will. You don't trust the God that created you. See, your faith is not your religion. Your faith is whether or not you are doing the will of the one who created you. You can go to church all you want, but are you actually walking in your God-given purpose? Your righteousness will be measured not by church service. It will be measured by your community service. How you were serving. By community service, I don't just mean nonprofit. How are you serving other children of God Monday through Saturday? Not just you going to church service on Sunday. Okay? Some of y'all wasn't ready for this heat. Some of y'all wasn't ready for this heat. Luke 22:42 says, not my will, but thy will be done. Thy will be done, thy will be done, thy will be done. You need to stop praying for things. The best prayer that you can say is thy will be done. When you pray for things, you're assuming that you know what's best for you. You are assuming that you know what's best for you. But if you just submitted and said, thy will be done, guess what would happen? You would get what's best for you. You would get what's best for you. And many of the things that you think you want is because you saw somebody else having. It's really a game of comparison. I want that because I see somebody else who has it, as opposed to just submitting to God and saying, thy will be done. I don't want anything from you, God. I just want thy will to be done. Thy will be done, thy will be done, thy will be done, thy will be done. In fact, everybody say that 10 times. Thy will be done, 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 thy will be done. I need to get you in a receiving mode. Over the next 4 days, I need you to mumble that, hum that when you're walking, when you're sitting at your desk in your cubicle. I need you to say, thy will be done, thy will be done. God wants you to know your purpose. We don't come from some cruel creator that has a purpose for us and then is going to hide it from us because it doesn't want us to fulfill it. No, God wants us to fulfill our purpose. God wants us to take up our cross and walk. But we're just not receptive. Your purpose is already inside of you. We just have to excavate it. Okay. Another way to say that is be me, God. Be me, God. God, if you were to be me today, what would you do? Where would you go? Who would you serve? Be me, God. Use me. I fully submit. Take over the will. Be me, God. How do you want to use me? I'm yours. I belong to you. I don't belong to myself. I belong to you. Use me. Be me today. Your purpose is not a career. It's not a profession. It is to be in alignment with what God created you to do. Okay. So your purpose is inside of you, right? It is inside of you. And it is so necessary because you are already a 1 out of 40 trillion chance of getting here. But what happens is we go get these jobs, right? And then we start making these bucket lists. We start making these vision boards. And we do all these things that life tells us we should do. right? We do all these things that we think life should, that we're supposed to do in life. I got my bucket list. But imagine you transition, family, from the physical back to the spiritual. And God is like, glad to have you back. Tell me what you accomplished while you were down there. You were like, I did this. I had a family. I bought a house. I traveled to 25 countries. I was making six figures. I got this many degrees. Oh, that's nice. Did you do the one thing that I sent you to do? No, but I did community service and I gave a lot of money. I tithed the entire time I was making money. And I took care of my mom. That's great. Did you do the one thing that I created you to do? Oh, that's nice. Did you do the one thing that I created you to do? For for many of you right now, the answer will be what? For many of you right now, if your clock was to stop ticking right now, what would your answer be to that question? For many, your answer would be no. But I did this, but I did this. I checked this off and I did this and I. This is how important this is, family. Okay. So some of you are playing it safe. You see, when you think about a boat, right? Most boats are sitting where? At docks. Why are they sitting at docks? Because they are safe at docks. Okay. They are safe at docks. But what is the true purpose of a boat? Is the true purpose of a boat to be at a dock? No, the true purpose of a boat is to be out at sea. It is safe at the dock, but its true purpose is to be out at sea. Some of you are operating in the same way. You are safe at that job, but your true purpose is to be over there. Why you were created is to be out at sea, not at the dock. And some of you are playing it safe. Now, what's so powerful about being out at sea? When you're at a dock, you can go fishing and you can catch one fish at a time, right? But when you're at sea, you can cast your net to the right side and you can catch an abundance. Have you ever seen somebody catch fish like this at a dock? Have you ever seen somebody catch fish like this at a dock? No, they go out to the middle of the sea. That's where your abundance is. That's where your abundance is. It's not at the dock. So you need to decide, or you already know, how do you connect and hear from God? Is it through prayer? Is it through meditation? Is it fasting? Is it nature? How do you connect with God? And however you connect with God, I need you to dedicate at least 10 minutes per day in the morning and in the evening, if you can, to connect with God specifically around God's will for your life. Thy will be done, thy will be done, thy will be done. God, what is my purpose? I'm in this 4-day challenge to hear from you and get clarity. And once I hear from you, I will commit. No, excuse me, I said that wrong. I commit to you first and foremost. And once you hear, I will take action. I'm already committed to you. And once I hear where you want me to go and what you want me to do, I will start moving my life in that direction. I'm not asking you to quit your job on Thursday, family. Okay? We are going to move our lives in that direction once we get clear. All right? Cool? Cool. Today's going to be a little bit longer because of I'm doing the intro, but we're going to do the Passion Finder in just a second. Family, Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first, my favorite scripture, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Seek ye first. There is a sequence to success, family. First means a sequence, right? But many of you are not seeking the kingdom. Luke 17:21 says the kingdom is within you. So you are not going within yourself to find out why you were created. It is clear that Yeshua / Jesus was clear on his purpose from a young age. That's what made him so powerful. The earlier, the sooner that we start walking in it, the more powerful we become. Now, your purpose guarantees your success, family. Your purpose guarantees your success. Why would your creator create you for a purpose and then not give you everything you need to succeed? Why would your creator create you for a purpose and then not give you everything you need to succeed? That would be a cruel creator. And I don't serve a cruel creator. Now, some of you think that you're doing God's work by tithing. You think that you're doing God's work by tithing. But listen to me. God does not want 10% of money you made from a job not aligned with what you were created to do. I'm going to repeat that. God does not want 10% of money you made from a job not aligned with what you were created to do. That's a false tithe. God wants 100% of you. God wants 100% of you, not 10% from you doing something that you weren't created to do. And if you do tithe, where are you supposed to tithe to? Everybody point to your temples. If the tithe is supposed to go to the temple, where are your temples? Your temples are right here. So you're supposed to be tithing back into yourself. Not selfishly. You're supposed to tithe back into yourself so that you can grow and become better so that you can serve at a greater level. You're supposed to pour back into yourself, your own personal and spiritual growth and development, not for selfish reasons, but to grow so that you can be a greater contribution. Imagine if you would have tithed into yourself since the moment you started making money. If you would have poured 10% back into your own personal growth and development, who would you be today? Who would you be today if you tithed back into your own temple? But they convinced you that the temple was outward and to tithe to their temple. Can somebody tell me where Yeshua's temple was? If I remember correctly, they were meeting out in the middle of nature. I didn't see him raising no money for a building fund. Acts 17:24 says it very clearly. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temple made with hands. Dwelleth not in temple made with hands. The only temples that I know of that are not made with the hands of man is right here. This is not about church service, family. How many church services you attend will not determine your salvation. It is about your community service, how you are serving your fellow brother and sister, the other children of God here on earth with your unique gifts. That is the metrics of success, not how many church services you go to. You can have perfect church attendance, but if you don't do any community service, faith without works is dead. And the greatest work you can do is not volunteering 1 hour a week. The greatest work, you can start there, but the greatest work you can do is doing the work you were created to do. Okay? Yes, if your church is helping you grow personally and spiritually, then yes, give to them. But you don't owe anybody a tithe. There's no more Levites. Tithes were for Levites. There's very few Levites left. And tithes were not of money. They were of animals, and they were of grains, and of fruits, things that naturally reproduce. Money does not naturally reproduce. Tithes were not of money. And they went to the Levites because the Levites didn't have land of their own. You got to study to show thyself approved. Okay? So listen, family. Your profession versus your purpose. Your profession is what I do. Your purpose is who I am. Your profession will fill your pockets. Your purpose will fill your soul. Your profession is your worldly success. Your purpose is your spiritual success. Your profession is what you were educated to do. Your purpose is what you were anointed to do. That is the difference. Who you are should define what you do. What you do shouldn't define who you are. I'm a lawyer. No, you're not. That's not who you are. That's what you do. Who are you? I'm a teacher. No, you're not. That's what you do. Who are you? What is your unique contribution to this world? Okay? But some of us don't have enough faith. Oh, ye of little faith. Do you have the faith enough to walk on water? Do you have the faith enough to take up your cross and walk in your purpose. That is the greatest faith walk ever. Again, your faith is not your religion. Your faith is whether or not you're willing to trust God enough to walk on water and walk in your God-given purpose. Do you trust God enough in similar way when you are floating on water? Do you trust the buoyancy of God to hold you when you fully submit to his will? Many of you are out here trying to doggy paddle through this life, right? To prevent yourself from drowning every day, every month. You just doggy paddling, all this activity. What if you just stopped all that hustling and just got alignment with God and the universal laws that is laid out, the unseen, and you just laid back and surrendered? Here's the path to purpose. And I want you to take a screenshot of this in a second. First, we're going to start with your passion. What do I love doing and have or can turn into a skill? We talked about that in the VIP session today. What can I turn into a skill? Okay. Then from there, we're going to go into day 2. We're going to go into your problem. What problem am I passionate about solving? You see the word passion is still there. I have to be passionate about solving a problem. Your wealth will be directly proportional to the size of the problems you solve for other people. Okay. If you aren't that wealthy, then it's likely that you're not solving big problems or you're not solving enough problems for enough people. Then we need to identify the people that you're meant to serve. Who do I want to serve? Why? And how and where can I reach them? So listen to me. Here's the definition of purpose. My purpose is to solve an important problem for a specific people using my unique passions. I'm going to repeat that. My purpose is to solve an important problem for a specific people using my unique passions. Okay? So take a screenshot of this. This is a map of what we're going to go through during this 4-day challenge. All right? So I showed you this template earlier, right? And I showed you my purpose. I want to give you this template. Okay? I want to give you this template. All right? And it is at juliangordon.com/purpose. It is at juliangordon.com. Get the template at juliangordon.com/purpose. Go ahead and download that now, the PDF. Okay. Get the template because this is what we're going to be building out. And by the end of this 4-day challenge, you're going to have a complete purpose statement. I'm on a mission to help as many people get clarity on their purpose statement as possible. I'm talking thousands, hundreds of thousands. You are just the first that I'm now doing this work with again. Okay? But before you use that template, what I want you to do right now in your, actually do it on a piece of paper because you're going to need it. I want you to write your purpose statement as of today. Many of you said you know it. Many of you are in it, but not being paid for it. And there's some of you who are just completely lost, and that's okay. But I want you to do your best to write down your purpose statement right now, not using the template. I want you to do it from a free form, because what I want for you to see is the transformation that occurs in your clarity from today, this moment, to Thursday when we finish the 4-day challenge. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes right now to write down your purpose to the best of your ability. Okay? I'll give you 2 minutes to write down your purpose to the best of your ability. All right? And then we're going to go into the PassionFinder. Go ahead and type done when you're done. For those of you on social media, go to juliangordon.com/P2P to join us on Zoom. This is where you'll be able to see the slides, get all of the access to the worksheets, and participate in the 4-day challenge. Replays are available for those who do VIP. If you're interested in VIP, it is purpose to paid.com. Yes, Kia already put it in chat for everybody. VIPs are, if you, I see people are driving. Some people say they can't make it every single day. You can get all the replays at purposetopaid.com/VIP. Okay. Take advantage of that. All the replays. All right. People are typing done. This is just your first draft, right? Because I want you to see, once we're done on Thursday, I want you to see the transformation. I want you to see the clarity. I want you to see the renewed mind that you have in regards to your purpose. We're going to compare what you just wrote down to what we end up creating. And it's going to be a world of a difference. Okay. Um, it's purpose to paid.com/VIP. All right. All right. We're about to get into some work. This is work, family. When you have gold buried inside of you, or gold is buried in a mountain, what do you have to do to get it? When gold is buried in a mountain or gold is buried inside of you, what do you have to do to get it? You got to dig, baby. You got to dig. You got to get some heavy machinery, and you got to get dirty, and you got to go within. We're going to go through an excavation process. We're going to drill down. And so all these layers, right? All these layers that have hidden your purpose from you, because your purpose is there. It's always been there. It's never left you. It was there from the moment you were born. Okay. All these layers are parental expectations, societal expectations, financial obligations, peer pressure, self-doubt, limiting beliefs. All of those are calcified blockages that are preventing you from hearing God and getting to your purpose. We're going to go through a process to break through all of that, to get back to who you actually are, not who you've projected yourself to be. Okay? All right? Can I have two people share their purpose statement as is? If you could type it in for me. The access to the replays will be at purposetopaid.com/VIP. When you join VIP, it includes the access to the replays. It also includes the Paid to Purpose workbook, as well as the 7 o'clock call prior to this call. Okay, Christina said, my purpose is to serve the less fortunate on every continent. I am a servant of God and my life isn't my own. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So just, you see, Christina, we see a lot of vagueness there. Okay. Less fortunate. Okay. Is she talking about people on the continent? Is she talking about less fortunate from a poverty standpoint? Is she talking about foster youth? We can get more specific about the less fortunate, right? On every continent. Is it really every continent? Are we going to serve people in Australia, or are we really focused on the United States and Africa, right? I'm a servant of God and my life isn't my own. That's a beautiful statement. That's scriptural, right? But how do you serve? What is the actions that you are going to take? What are the actions that you love doing as you serve, right? It could be cooking, it could be healing, it could be coaching, right? We need to get clarity on those things. So you see, Christina did a great job to get it out, but we're going to refine that a lot more during this process. Shawnette said, my purpose is to use my art to make people feel beautiful, seen, and see the world around them differently. That's a beautiful, beautiful statement. Shawnette, what we're going to do is we're going to get clarity around the people, right? People is vague. People could include all 8 billion people on this planet. What people is she really speaking to, right? What does it really mean to feel beautiful? What kind of art does she do? Is it just paintings? Is it activations? Is it a communal art? We want to get clear on what that is. All right. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. And I'm going to download this chat after so I can read the rest. Okay. So we're going to get into the Passion Finder. Like I said, today is going to be a little bit longer only because I had to do the introduction. But tomorrow we're going to get right into We'll probably take a few questions, and then we'll jump right into the problem finder tomorrow. Okay. So the passion finder, right? I want to watch this video from Steve Jobs because I think it really articulates the importance of passion when it comes to walking in your God-given purpose. So listen very carefully. Hopefully the volume works.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up, being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough, and the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane. Right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it?
So you have to love the work. You have to love the work. Scripture says, where your heart is, there is also your treasure, right? The work has to come from the heart, family, right? The work has to come from the heart. Now, when it comes to passion, does anybody know what Steve Jobs' passion was when he was young? Does anybody know what Steve Jobs' passion was when he was young? Any guesses? Oh, Sheba read the autobiography. Daniel read the autobiography. Is that the Daniel I know? If that is, what's up, brother? He said, yes, sir. What's good, fam? Calligraphy. Steve Jobs' passion when he was young was calligraphy. How does that tie in? Well, he loved how calligraphy looked. He loved the beauty of the design. And he took that passion for calligraphy and he held on to it. Because Steve Jobs was a foster youth, he didn't have his parents on his shoulders trying to direct his life and tell him what to do. He held on to this passion for calligraphy, which seems obscure and irrelevant, right, and insignificant. But his passion for calligraphy matured into a passion for design, and his passion for design matured into a passion for designing technology. This is how you get an iPhone. This is how you get an iPad. It started with his passion for calligraphy. And many of you had passions when you were children that you gave up because somebody told you or you didn't know how you would ever make a living doing that. And it wasn't that you were actually going to be doing that specific thing, but if you had held on to that passion, it would have matured into something that was more and more valuable over time. But you gave up on it. And you chose teacher, doctor, lawyer, engineer, businessman, or businesswoman. You chose a college major and thought that that was going to get you to a place of security. And it might be giving you, some of you, financial security, but you still feel spiritually insecure because you know you're not walking in your God-given purpose. Okay? So Steve Jobs said, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know it when you find it. I'm going to help you find it, family. That's what I'm here to do. Okay? So some of you have bought into two of the lies. One is just work harder. Oh, yeah, we as Black people got to work twice as hard as everybody else just to get the same, right? And when you're working harder, you're doing it with what? Your body. And this is why some of you are burned out. This is why some of us have become not alcoholics. Yeah, alcoholics and workaholics, because we're trying to outwork people with our body, which is a limited resource. Okay. Then there's some of you who caught on to, oh, just work smarter. And when you're working smarter, you're using your mind. And there's more leverage to using your mind than your body, right? And then some of you went on to get educated and get multiple degrees and end up in $100,000 of student debt because you were trying to be smarter than everybody else, right? You know that Black people are most in debt in terms of college? Most in debt. Because we thought that getting some degrees was going to open doors for us. Okay? Work smarter. Where I'm leading you to is working from your soul, from your heart space. And I call that working harder. Working harder. Doing work that you love, doing work that exudes love. I don't know if y'all can tell, but do I look like I love this? Do I look like I love this work? Not only am I doing what I love, I'm expressing love through this actual work. Some of you are great at what you do, but there's no love coming out of you when you do it. You're the best at what you do in your company, in your industry, but there is no love whatsoever exuding from your heart. And here's the thing. You think that when you go home, you're just going to be able to turn on love. You've been working out of love for 8 to 10 hours. And then when you go home, you expect you're just going to be able to turn on love when you walk in the door. Like it's a switch. This is why some of you are having difficulty in relationships. Because you're not doing what you love. And then you're expecting that love from another human being who's also not doing what they love. And so y'all both coming back home with hate on your hearts, expecting love to just magically occur. Am I lying? Am I lying? Okay. So let me explain the difference between passions and interests. Okay. Passions have to do with disciplined practice, whereas interests have to do with half-hearted play. So if I'm passionate about basketball, I'm actually going to go out there on Saturday morning and do a whole bunch of drills, right? Shooting 100 free throws, 100 three-pointers, layup drills, dribbling drills, defensive drills, etc. Whereas people who are just interested in basketball, they're just going to be playing pickup games all day, and they don't know if they're getting better or not. That's the difference between disciplined practice and half-hearted play. This making sense? The other thing is that passions are full-time, whereas interests are free time. When you're truly passionate about something, you've actually made time for it in your schedule. It's baked into your schedule, just like sleeping, eating, and taking a shower. It's part of your schedule no matter what. You made it a non-negotiable. Whereas people who are only interested in it, when things get busy, guess what falls off? That thing, that interest. And then passions are action oriented, whereas interests are topic based, right? And so I'm going to explain what that means, right? If I say I have a passion for baseball, what do you think I want to be professionally? If I say I have a passion for baseball, what do you think I want to be professionally? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Baseball player. That's the first thing that comes to mind, right? Oh, he's passionate about baseball. He wants to be a baseball player. But listen to me. Do more than just baseball players get paid in regards to baseball? Do more than baseball players get paid in regards to baseball? Yes, there's an entire economy around baseball, but we get so limited in our thinking. He's passionate about baseball, he wants to be a baseball player, when there's an entire economy around baseball, right? So watch this. There is the concession folks, there's the mascots, there's the announcers, there's the umpires, there's the actual players, and then there's the owners. There's an entire food chain in baseball. So just because I'm passionate about baseball doesn't mean I have to be a baseball player to be in baseball. Is this making sense? Okay. Is this making sense? Right? So watch this. I'm going to show you how to map out the economy around baseball using the PassionFinder, and then you're going to do it for your own industry. Okay. So watch this. The way the PassionFinder works is that we take the action verbs, right? Then we take the descriptors, and it allows us to see all of the actions in the economy. Every job in the baseball economy is connected to some sort of action. So watch this. Hitting baseball, people get paid for that. Pitching baseball, people get paid for that. Collecting baseball cards, people get paid for that. Studying baseball history, people get paid for that. Coaching baseball pitchers, people get paid for that. Announcing baseball games, people get paid for that. Managing baseball operations, people get paid for that. Scouting baseball players, people get paid for that. So literally in just 60 seconds, we started to map out the entire economy around baseball, and it's more vast than this. I've just given you a quick example. When you look at the action verbs, right, and you run them through the interest, and you look at the descriptors, it allows us to start to map out the economy of baseball. And you could probably spend an hour really going, if you are passionate about baseball, you could probably spend an hour drawing out an even greater version of this economy. Is this making sense? Okay. So now I need your help. We're going to do fashion. I have a passion for fashion. So fashion is now in the middle. What are some of the action verbs around fashion? What are some of the action verbs around fashion? And by action verbs, I mean ing, present subjunctive, modeling, styling, writing articles, designing, buying, sewing, reselling, tailoring, writing, wearing, good, okay? Marketing, photographing, merchandising, beautiful. Now, what are some descriptors in fashion? Pause. What are some of the descriptors in passion? What are the different types of fashion? Shirts, belt, women's, kids, jewelry, jackets, textiles, maternity, good, hair, makeup, fabrics, wool, velour, cotton, leather, plus size, good. So you're starting to get it, right? So watch this. Modeling fashion, photographing fashion, buying, marketing, designing, teaching, selling, distributing, right? And then watch this. Specifically, pants, jewelry, hats, watches, winter, summer, swimwear, suits. So watch this. Designing fashion, specifically hats. Designing fashion, specifically pants. Designing fashion, specifically swimwear. Photographing fashion, specifically swimwear. Photographing fashion, specifically suits. Selling fashion, specifically watches. Now, we're starting to map out the entire economy of fashion. And now we can identify which are the 1, 2, and 3 actions that we love in that industry. And we can start building our way there, because every action, there's somebody getting paid. For every action, oh, that's a new one. For every action, there's a transaction. Type that. That's a new one. That just came to me, y'all. For every action, there's a transaction. For every action, there's a transaction. That's a bar. Okay. So now that we identified all the actions, we can start to follow the money in that particular industry. Okay. We're going to do one more before we get into yours. I have a passion for food. What are the action words related to food? Just because I'm passionate about food, everybody thinks I want to be a chef, right? But are there more ways to get paid around food than just cooking it? Cooking it, selling it, eating it, manufacturing it, writing about it, reviewing it, etc. And then what different types of foods are there? Comfort foods, vegetarian foods, vegan foods, healthy foods, soul foods, Greek food, Mediterranean food. Okay, good. So you're starting to get it. Growing the food organically, writing food reviews, designing food baskets, tasting the food, hosting events around food for the homeless, experimenting with food fusion, hosting food shows, teaching people to cook food healthily. We're starting to map out the entire economy around food, y'all. Y'all getting it now? Y'all getting it? Good. Now, you see this, designing food baskets, right? What would have happened if you would have went to your parents and said, and while you were in college, and said, I'm passionate about designing fruit baskets? What would they have said? If you went to your parents and said, I'm passionate about designing fruit baskets, what would they have told you when you were in college? What drugs are you on? What's plan B? Okay, and no, you are a fruit basket, right? But listen, here's why some of you were still submitting to your parents and not to your real spiritual father. Here's why. You could have built edible arrangements. What does edible arrangements sell? They sell fruit baskets. Over $500 million worth of fruit baskets. But because you were so concerned with what your parents were going to think and what your friends were going to think in terms of what you wanted to do with your life, You swept it under the rug and you went and got a corporate job. You were afraid of your passion being a fruit basket because that's not what everybody else was doing. That's not what other people, quote unquote, respected. But I do know people respect multimillionaires. But you didn't have enough faith. Do you realize that people are getting paid for all kinds of things out here? People are getting paid in so many ways. I saw an article of a woman getting paid for cuddling. I saw an article of a dude getting paid for standing in line for people. People are getting paid in so many ways, and you are just so locked in on, I got to get a job. You wonder why the next to Revelation, one of the most atrocious and worst books in the Bible, is called what? Next to Revelation, one of the worst books in the Bible is the book of Job. And if you say Job another way, what do you get? You get job. People are getting paid in so many ways, but you've just been programmed and conditioned that the only way I can get paid is through a job. Okay. So once we find your purpose, yes, there may be a job that's in alignment with it. But if you can't find a job that's in alignment with your purpose, then guess what you must do, family? You must step out on your own. Okay. Yeah, schools don't teach this, family. Schools don't teach this. So we need to go back to that childlike you, because that childlike you, there was things there that you naturally gravitated to. Some of you gravitated to the outside. Some of you gravitated to the inside. Some of you gravitated to nature. Some of you gravitated to the computer. The things that you naturally did as a child, they actually are information. It's data. It's feedback. But you quieted a lot of those voices. And I'm asking you to revisit them, because the most dangerous neighborhood in the entire world is adulthood. The most dangerous neighborhood in the entire world is adulthood. And some of you have given up on your passions, and I'm telling you, do not give up on them just before you strike. You are this close if you have enough faith. Okay? So, for those of you who don't have an entrepreneurial bug in you whatsoever, I want to help you find a career that's in alignment with your purpose. Okay? So, here's how you do it. You take the profession that you're actually in and you extract the passions and the feelings from it. All right. So an archaeologist, what kind of passions might they have? An archaeologist loves digging for info, searching history, and studying people, right? And what kind of feelings is an archaeologist looking for? They're looking for curiosity, discovery, and adventure. All right. Now here's the trick. Everybody look at the slide. Watch this. Here's the trick. Here's how you can get yourself unstuck from thinking of yourself as an archaeologist. Watch this. Boom. You release the profession and you focus on the passions. And you ask yourself, based on these passions, what other career possibilities and opportunities exist? If I'm passionate about digging for info, searching history, studying people, curiosity, discovery, and adventure, I do not have to just be locked into archaeology, right? I have other career options like psychologist, journalist, investigator, researcher, historian, professor, ethnographer. All of these things will fulfill me in the same way as an archaeologist does. I'm just doing it in a different profession. What matters is that I'm doing the actual things I'm passionate about, not the actual title of the profession. So for those of you who are career oriented, right, this will free you by looking at, why did I initially come to this job in the first place? What attracted me to the job? What aspects of this job do I actually love? And is there a way for me to do that somewhere else, doing something completely different? Is this making sense? So a friend of mine thought she wanted to be an archaeologist growing up. And what did she end up becoming? An HR recruiter. Instead of digging through piles of rubble, she digs through piles of resumes. Instead of studying ancient culture, She studies her company's culture, and she looks for college graduates who are fit for her company's culture. She's doing everything that an archaeologist does, but she's not called an archaeologist. What matters is that she's doing the actions that she was passionate about, not the actual title. Oh, I see some people getting free right now. I see some people getting free right now. All right. So we are going to go through the PassionFinder right now for you. I should give it to you as homework, but I actually want to guide you through it. Okay. Kia posted the link there. It is juliangordon.com/passion. So go ahead and download that. For those of you who have the Paid for Purpose workbook from the VIP, it is in your workbook. For everybody else, you have a template that I gave you, okay? So if you do not have a printer right now, go ahead and just get a piece of paper. Go ahead and get a piece of paper, and you're going to draw out the same chart that we had for fashion, food, and baseball. You're going to draw out the same chart that we had for fashion, food, and baseball, okay? And I'm going to walk you through it. And that's going to conclude tonight. All right, so step one is we have to identify the one or two word interest that is at the center, right? Again, we did fashion, food, and baseball, okay? So what word is at the center of your career universe? What word is at the center of your career universe, right? So is it chess? Is it bargains? Is it events? Is it people? Is it travel? Is it education? Is it business? Is it health, right? Go ahead and chat and type in the word that's at the center of your career universe. I see business, media, good, people, travel, education, empowerment, customers, couponing. Good. That's very specific. Bargains, health, art, kindness. I love that. Knowledge, advocacy. These are good. These are good. Okay. So that's where we begin. What word is at the center of your career universe? Now, my friend from business school, Eric Alibis, he loved chess, and he used to organize chess tournaments in person. But while we were in business school in the Silicon Valley, he ended up buying chess.com and then creating an app where people could play together. How much do you think that app is worth right now? A lot. All because of his passion for chess. He didn't have to be Bobby Fischer to make money in the industry of chess. Is this making sense? I'm encouraging you to think outside the box, right? Don't think just about the one thing: baseball, baseball player; chess, chess player, right? Food, chef, right? We're expanding our awareness of the economic possibilities and how money flows in that economy, and then we can choose from there. Shiva says, I'm on chess.com and love it, okay? So for those of you who are not VIP, you can go to juliangordon.com/passion and get this exact template that you're seeing on the screen right now. You can get the exact template, okay? And if you do not have a printer, just go ahead and draw it out, all right? Draw this out. And what I want you to do is I want you to put your keyword, your one or two keywords that you all typed in the chat. I want you to put it in the center. And then I want you to start doing what we did for baseball, food, and fashion. Okay. I want you to put the action verbs, the INGs. Okay. Then I want you to put the descriptors. And I want you to start to map out the economy around your core word. Okay. Everybody on social media, you want to go to juliangordon.com/P2P to join us in the Zoom, and all the links will be there. All the links will be there. All right. So you're doing actual work right now. You're doing actual work right now. All right. So center of the career universe. Okay. So think about your favorite books, your favorite shows, your favorite music, favorite sports, games, movies, websites, products, right? Projects, classes that you took, right? Things you do alone, things you do with others. All of these reveal what our true passions are, right? All of these things reveal what our true passions are, okay? And you might have to come up with synonyms for your central word. So if you have business, other synonyms might be entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs or small businesses, right? So we want to get really refined in terms of our central word. All right. All right. Type done. Once you have your central word written down, type done. Type done. Try to get you out of here by 10. Didn't expect it to go this long, but spirit was moving, so let it move. Time don't matter. Plus, you should be feeling energized. Y'all feeling energized right now? You feel as tired as you would on a normal weeknight? Are you feeling energized? I'm lit right now. All right, cool. Step two. Now we're going to list all the action-based passions, right? So for business, starting business, running business, financing business, marketing business, branding business, building business, selling business, teaching business or businesses. Okay. So go ahead and write down as many action words as you can right now. Go ahead and write down as many action words as you can right now. Oh, yeah. This is in no college class, family. This was all divine download. This came through me. I didn't get this from anywhere. I didn't get this from anywhere except the Most High. So it is my responsibility to bring it to the world. Didn't copy this from nobody. I didn't steal somebody's framework and then revamp it for myself. No, this is pure divine download straight to you. This needs to be a course. It is a course. It is a course now. I wish it could be in every college, every rites of passage. One day it will. We're starting here for now. When I see results in your lives and you tell me, Julian, I'm walking in my purpose, that's what's going to convince people. Not only am I walking my purpose, I'm being paid abundantly in my purpose, more than I was making in my job, right? You just need enough people to have faith, to have this knowledge, and then to have faith to walk on it. Okay? Cool. So next, we're going to go into listing descriptors. Okay? Let me explain descriptors. Okay? Examples in baseball. Descriptors are what, who, where, or how. So what type? You do, what you do this action for? Minor leagues, major leagues, little league, right? Those are types of baseball. Who you do this action for? Hitters, pitchers, young players, women or softball players, right? Another type is where you do it. In high school, minor leagues, the Dominican Republic, a lot of baseball players come from there, right? I'm a hitting coach. I'm a hitting coach for second baseman in the Dominican Republic. I'm a hitting coach for catchers in the Dominican Republic. You see how specific that is? It sounds almost too niche, but there are actually riches in the niches, family. There are riches in the niches, okay? And then how you do it. How you do it. I do it through strength training. I do it through psychology. So there are baseball coaches who use psychology. Like you're in a hitting slump, and they are actually psychologists that get you out of your slump. Then there's other baseball coaches or hitting coaches that do it through strength training, right? You want to hit the ball further, you want to have more home runs, they're going to focus on your strength training, okay? So your descriptors are going to be in relationship to what or the type, who, where, and how. All right. So some business descriptors would be online, blogs, Facebook pages, seminars, live and online, um, uh, to employees, to customers, products, around individuals, leaders for IPO, to private investors, skills to professionals or youth. So starting businesses online, right? Running business seminars live and online, financing businesses, marketing business Facebook pages, branding businesses or branding business products around individuals, building businesses for IPO, right? Or building business leaders, selling businesses to private investors, teaching business skills to professionals or to youth. So you see all the descriptors. Cool. You're welcome, Dion. All right. Good, 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 good. And type done when you're done with your descriptors. Oh, this is just day one, family. We just getting started. This is just day one. All right. All right, beautiful. Okay. So now step 4, identifying your top passions, companies, careers, and clients. All right. So my top 5 passions, you look at all the action words, right? Run through your descriptors and you identify your top 5 passions. I actually want you right now, just do 3, right? So as you look at the action word, the core word, and the descriptors, what are your top 3? Okay. Helping people find their purpose, building purpose-based businesses, teaching financial freedom, decoding the Bible, and creating community. Those are my top 5 passions, okay? So I need to find economic opportunities to do these sustainably, right? And you've seen me do that through the multifamily movement, right? Okay. So list your top 3, write them down or put a star. Just put a star by them. All right. Now, here's how you develop your passion. We have this question in the VIP section. Okay. Here's how you develop your passion. You look at those top 3 passions, right? You order them, which one you think is number 1, which one you think is number 2, and which one you think is number 3. You start with number 1 and you dedicate 30 minutes a day to mastery. Because the first 3 letters of prosperity are pro. So for at least, if it's truly your passion, you should be doing it 30 minutes a day, practicing it 30 minutes a day, reading about it at least 30 minutes a day, or learning about it in 30 minutes a day, training on it at least 30 minutes a day, or networking around it 30 minutes a day. If you are not doing that passion at least 30 minutes a day, then guess what, family? I got news for you. What do you think that news is? It is not your passion. If you can't make time for it, then it's really just an interest and it's not your passion, and you do not want that to be your foundation. But do you get mad? No. You cross it off and you go to number 2. And then you try to do 30-day, 30-minute experiments with that. You see if you can commit to engaging with it at least 30 minutes a day. And if you fall off after day 3, then guess what, family? That is not your passion. We don't get mad. We just cross it off and we go to number 3. And then all of a sudden you're doing number 3 and you see that, oh, I've been doing this consistently for 30 days. Guess what? We've actually found your passion. You naturally found a way to integrate this thing into your life. It was that important to you. This was your passion. This is the foundation we want to build on. Does this make sense? This makes sense. Okay. So now, for those of you who are employees or entrepreneurs, I want you to see this, okay? So we took an interest like food, right? And then we looked at all the actions around food, right? Then we looked at the descriptors around food, or we take designing food baskets. What kind of food baskets could we design, family? We could design food baskets with fruit, edible arrangements, with chocolate, dried goods, with cheeses. We could design them for mothers, for husbands, for romantic partners, for kids, We can design them for corporate gifts, holiday gifts. We can design them for Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter, and Mother's Day. We can design them for retail stores or for street vendors, right? Now, from there, what companies come up? Edible Arrangements comes up, right? Ghirardelli comes up. Buffalo Bill Jerky comes up. So if designing fruit baskets or food baskets was actually your passion, this is how you find a potential employer to actually do that work with. Or you look at the people who are in that space and you say, I want to build a company that designs fruit baskets that's based on, let me think. We have chocolate here, we have jerky, we have fresh fruit. We could do a fruit basket based on Now Laters or something like that, or 90s candies, or cookies, right? This is how you find opportunities in the marketplace for those of you who want to be entrepreneurs. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? Okay. So for those of you who are VIP, this is in your workbook already. For everybody else, you can download this particular worksheet at juliangordon.com/passion, right? And so back to the first worksheet, which is the purpose statement. Here's what we're going to do to conclude the day. Okay. What I need you to do in that first worksheet, the purpose statement, is I need you to fill out the first fill in the blank, which is your name. That should be pretty easy. And then I need you to go down to, I have a blank like passion for blank. Okay. So I want you to think about the person who is most passionate about the thing that you've chosen as your top passion. For me, it's Reverend Ike, right? So we're just using them as an example and a model so that one, we know it's possible, because Reverend Ike was able to do this, do the things that I am seeking to do and am doing, right, on a daily basis at a high level. So I have a Reverend Ike like passion for helping people bring heaven on earth using the God within themselves to manifest the divine ideas planted in their mind. So you are filling out these three fill in the blanks right now on the purpose statement. And then that will conclude today. You're not filling out everything. You're just filling out these three fill in the blanks. All right. And then type done when you're done with that. You're only filling out these three. Okay. We just did the work around passion. If you're done, go ahead and chat and type your sentence. I have a blank like passion for what? Go ahead and type that in the chat for me so I can read a few of them off. Go ahead. Yes. And for those of you who know that you cannot make it all week, you can go to purposetopay.com. Kia can put that in for me, .com/VIP, and you can still get access to the VIP package, which includes the replays of our daily calls, okay, including this one, right? The additional 7 o'clock call where we meet before, right? Access to the Paid for Purpose program for a year, and then also the full Purpose to Paid workbook, all right? So that's there for you if you know you can't make every night. Every night is going to build on each other, right? So go ahead and take advantage of that if you know you want these replays, or even just you want to circle back to this stuff, okay? So I have a Joyce Meyer like passion for helping women realize their worth and give them hope for a better future. I love that, Sherry. Kenmikia said, I have a Paul-like passion for building up worshiping warriors who know how to carry the glory and presence of God. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay. So let me see what's next. Oh, that's VIP day 2. Okay. All right. That is it. That concludes day 1. I told you I wanted to get you out of here by 10 o'clock o'clock today was longer than normal because I had to do the intro. Maybe I'll make it 5 days in the future so we can make the intro separate. But that concludes today. If you have any questions around your Passion Finder and what you drew out, I encourage you to join VIP. That's where I will coach you. At VIP, we have a Zoom meeting, not a Zoom webinar. So everybody's on camera and we're all talking and engaging and asking questions. So I coached some people today. So if you want that level of coaching, then go ahead and get the VIP. With that, I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be going over the problem finder. So now we found your passion, okay? Then we find your problem. Then we find the people, and then we find the profit or the business model and blessing model that pair together so that you can do this work sustainably. This has been an amazing day one. I feel so lit up doing this work again at this level and at this scale. I can see the energy in the chat that you are also lit up by this. It's going to be an amazing week. Do not miss a day. This is free. This is free. All right. This is free. It should not be free. I'm already aware of that just based on how I'm seeing the breakthroughs today. Okay. Do not miss a day, family. Every day builds on top of one another. So if you miss a day, you're going to miss something crucial to really pulling this all together. At the end of the 4 days, you're going to have a full purpose statement, and it's going to look a lot different than the one that you wrote today. All right. So with that, I pray that you get some good rest. I pray that you have an amazing day tomorrow. Please set a phone alarm for 6:55 if you are VIP. Please set a phone alarm for 7:55 if you are general, and I will see you then. This has been so great. I'm I'm my energy is high right now. I can't even go to sleep right now. This has just been great, and yeah, welcome to the first day of the Purpose to Paid challenge. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Much love, everybody. Peace.